You're watching the Sega Driven YouTube channel, and it's back to our Christmas Sage 2023 coverage. In this video we're taking a look at Sonic Drift 16-bit, developed by Noah N. Copeland. Now then, Noah N. Copeland is back, previously developer of Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit, and he's now taking his talents over to another 8-bit Sonic game and giving it the 16-bit remaster treatment in the form of Sonic Drift. So yeah, this is really cool, I've got to say. I had a lot of fun with this. So what we get here is a 3-race demo. You can play as all of the Sonic Drift cast, but yeah, you only have 3 tracks to choose from and 3 difficulty levels. But yeah, it basically reimagines Sonic Drift as more of a sort of Super Mario Kart style racing game, complete with sort of Mode 7 style tracks and drifting. So yeah, and the drift mechanic works very much like a modern sort of Mario Kart in that the longer you hold it, the more boost you earn as you come out of the corner. So yeah, nice little touch there. Controls feel excellent, I've got to say. Really good handling model across the board. I didn't notice any particular difference in the handling between characters, which is a little bit of a shame. So yeah, there's something to be improved there, just to make them a little bit more interesting to explore the cast, so that yeah, you can really feel their differences when you use them in races. But that's a minor complaint in the grand scheme of things. I think the overall handling model is really good. I very much enjoyed my time with this, and yeah, it felt nice and responsive and very easy to play even with keyboard controls. So yeah, when I say that this goes for the Mario Kart style, I really mean it, in that they have included item boxes which allow you to use weapons, things like boosts, and it even has its own equivalent of the blue shell, which is basically the Barrel of Doom from Sonic 3, which is a really fun little touch. Yeah, really enjoyed that. You obviously do have projectiles and mines as well, so you have offensive attacks as well. And the other thing is as well is rings basically build up your top speed, very much like the coins do in a Mario Kart game. So yeah, it's taking a lot of cues from Mario Kart. But it all works in its favour, and I think it makes this a lot more approachable than Sonic Drift ever was, because it's a bit of a strange game, a little bit more oblique in its approach. Some races are point-to-point. There are items, but the focus isn't so heavily on them. It's very much a case of finding your best line through the circuits and just being as fast as possible. Whereas this has a little bit more of that to and fro, that rubber banding, that, you know, you can always attempt to get the upper hand on the rest of the pack thanks to the use of the items. So there's a little bit more of that going on, which makes it feel like more of a modern kart racing game. The one complaint I'll have with this is that I think there is a bit of a mismatch between the sprite scaling and the Mode 7 style tracks. Now, I would say the use of Mode 7 is much more like a Mega CD game instead of a Mega Drive game. And understandably, you could still classify the Mega CD as 16-bit, so that's fine. But I do feel like that mismatch between the stilted, sort of jerky scaling of the roadside objects, that is very much like a Mega Drive game, where they've just basically drawn lots of different sizes of the objects and, you know, chopped between them to simulate the idea that you're moving closer to objects. It just doesn't match well with the Mode 7, which is nice and smooth and scrolls without that sort of jerkiness. So it creates this weird mismatch between the objects and the circuits, which I found kind of difficult to look at for a long time. It's a minor complaint in the grand scheme of things, but once I spotted it, I was just like, oh, that's really weird that the circuits move really smoothly and the roadside objects don't, and now I can't unsee it. It's just a bit of a strange thing that I think is a bit of a strange choice. If you're going to go for a Mode 7 style track, then definitely go full Mega CD and just do the nice smooth object scaling as well. But if you want to go Mega Drive 16-bit, like you've said in your title, then you do need to change the way the track is drawn in, because the Mega Drive really couldn't do like Mode 7 style rotation like that. So yeah, it's just an odd thing. Again, a very small complaint, but it really did jump out at me the more I looked at it. But outside of that, this is just a really fun first demo. I had a really good time with it. I think the handling model is super good. Just really nice and responsive. A really good time. Very much plays like a modern kart racing game. And my word, the soundtrack is incredible. Like, just the remixes that they've included in this, just some of my favourite Sonic tunes I've heard in absolutely ages. Yeah, just really, really good tunes. Definitely worth checking out. I did encounter one minor bug. At one point when I was playing on Balloon Park, something happened that completely conked out the entire soundtrack for whatever reason. It just completely switched off and never came back, and I had to restart the game. Yeah, don't know what caused that, but here is a clip of it just in case a developer wants to use that as reference for a bug fix. But on the whole, this is a high recommendation from me. I think this is a really, really good little game. I'm very excited to see it fleshed out with more tracks in the coming months. So yeah, this is a strong recommendation from me, one of the highlights from Christmas Age, and I would easily recommend this to any fans of kart racers out there.